Hi everyone, I'm Jalene Andrews. This is The Law Down, where personal injury attorney Brooke Goff shares advice on important legal topics. Brooke, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so today, kids are on their way back to the classroom, which we're going to discuss. So let's talk about school bus safety and what do parents need to know? What do they need to tell their kids before this time of year comes around?
The unfortunate reality of it is no matter what you tell your kids, they're kids. Right? So they're going to do the best. If they retain 40% of what we tell them, we've done well. I have an 11-year-old and I have a 9-month-old. And some days I think my 9-month-old retains more than my 11-month-old, or my 11-year-old, excuse me. Imagine a 9 and 11-month-old. You'd have to like, so the process is just have reasonable expectations for your kids and understand that they're only probably going to retain 40% of what you tell them. But I'll tell you, the burden really doesn't shift to your kids too much. It needs to shift to those other drivers. So the people that are watching this should not be saying, oh, what can I tell my kids? The regular stuff, don't dart out in traffic, look both ways, the whole thing. But when I see accidents come in, and trust me, I see them, they're plentiful. It's my worst. I love back to school because my son goes back to school, but I also get the back to school cases, which are not the greatest. But, when I see these cases happen, I sit there and I always can deduct it down to, where did the motor vehicle go wrong and why? Because they're kids. The kids, yes, they go outside the crosswalk, guys. They do. They don't understand the bad part of their action.
They don't know how serious it is.
They don't understand the risk. They don't get it. So if there's a crosswalk, yes, there'll be a line of 6. I saw my son used to. There'd be a line of 6 kids, and instead of going vertical, they're going to go horizontal, and 3 of them are going to be outside the crosswalk. And understand that as a vehicle, if you're going through a residential area, you have got to always be aware, especially around the time that kids get out of school, go slow. Take your time. Kids dart out. I've seen it, where cars are like going nice and slow. They stop at a stop sign, the car starts going, the kid darts in the crosswalk. It's gonna happen. Just be responsible. But the biggest thing that I see that really is upsetting, and I see it on police reports as well, is school bus. Do people not know the rules in Connecticut? So in upstate New York, where I'm from, it was like, you should be scared if you disregarded the school bus law. I mean, people used to get your plates, they'd come find you, the whole thing. Here, I see it all the time. I'm driving on, even major roads, non-major roads, and you see the bus, the flashing lights start. Once the flashing lights start, you have a duty to stop. You don't wait. So I think a lot of people here wait for the full sign to be out. No. Once the flashing lights, because the lights flash in the back and on the sign, once those lights start flashing, you have a duty to stop. You need to give reasonable distance. Get those kids like a minute. Let their parents get a little bit of, give the kids some space. So a lot of times you'll see the sign opens up and cars are still flying by it. And then there's always a delay. So don't assume just because a bus stop, the sign comes out and no kids are coming off, they're not coming. They're slow.
They're getting their stuff out of their backpack.
Again, I have an 11-year-old son. They're slow, okay? He moves at a turtle's pace, always. So, and then some kids are faster. So that sign is out for the amount of time that's needed for kids to get across. So you might have one kid that crosses and you're like, oh, okay, I'm fine. I'm in a hurry to get somewhere. And guess what? Another kid is just way behind them. Follow bus safety. Always. The bus drivers a lot of buses now are equipped with cameras too. So if you blow past them or whatever, they'll get your plate, they'll report it. It's reckless. If you hit a kid against the bus rules, you're going to be facing major reckless charges, and your insurance isn't going to cover that. So I'm coming for your wages, I'm coming for your house, I'm coming for your boat, I'm coming for your cars, the whole thing. And when it comes to kids, like, jurors love kids. They're not going to help you. They're not going to be on your side. People are on their phones. I see this all the time. Unfortunately, drunk drivers in the middle of the day, believe it or not, we see them all the time. And the one thing I can tell parents watching this is make sure your auto insurance, underinsured motorist coverage is high enough. If somebody hits your child without insurance, even though your child does not drive yet, they're a household member and they're covered under your auto policy. So have high enough limits. So if something, God forbid, happens to your child, they are protected. Because at the end of the day, it's not us that have to pay the price later for a broken leg when a kid is 7. It's the kid when they're 30 and they feel like they're 60. So have high enough coverage.
All right, Brooke, as always, thank you so much for your time and your advice.
Happy to help.
All right, and you can learn more by visiting gofflawgroup.net. For Connecticut's Morning Buzz, I'm Jalene Andrews.